Okay, so I was just on the internet a little bit and I was looking at YouTube. My computer crashed. I had to restart the whole thing. And when it came back up, I had a notification of one of the channels I subscribe to, Geeks and Gamers, that Gina Carano, I think that's how you say it, Carano, um, has been fired from The Mandalorian, um, from Lucasfilm. And I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have money. I know it's like $6. I don't have $6 for anything that's not completely essential. Um, so I got the free trial when Disney Plus first came out. So I saw like an episode and a half of The Mandalorian, and I've heard here and there what's going on. I know that Luke Skywalker was in. I know all this crap just from hearing around. But I know it was popular, and I know that she was popular on it with half of the people who watch Star Wars. People who like Star Wars because they like Star Wars, not because Star Wars reaffirms their own personal beliefs about social issues. Because there's those people in this world now. And so I don't know how I started following her on Twitter. I guess these people had fans who I followed, or whatever, had been retweeting things she said here and there. But I kept seeing her tweets and she seemed pretty cool, so I started following her because she seemed like, a headstrong woman with her own opinions, and that's always something good as far as I'm concerned, because I think I'm the same way. Um, and I like people who support freedom of speech and exercise their freedom of speech, because that's lacking. I mean, today Larry Flint died, and he made Hustler magazine, which was the pornier than Playboy. And I don't know if you saw the movie People versus Larry Flint. It's a good movie starring Woody Harrelson as him, but he had to fight, for his freedom to be pornier than Playboy. And I find it interesting that this champion of free speech has died on a day when this woman, who is very popular on a very popular TV, well, not TV series, but internet series, has been canceled by Lucasfilm, not because of her performance on the show, but because of what she has posted on her private um, social media accounts. Now, I haven't seen, I guess she had put something on Instagram, but it's been deleted. I hadn't seen it, but to this point, she would tweet things that I would see, because I'm not, I don't like Instagram, so I'm really more on Twitter. And she had posted things every now and again that were very much, this is my opinion, but I'm not being offensive. And she wasn't. And she would have opinions about issues that are going on right now. And a lot of it is supposed to be that she was what they call transphobic, which that's a whole nother thing right now. And anyway, she said some things the kids didn't like, and when the kids pile on and they want to get rid of her. Okay, so that's been going on off and on for a while, and sometimes they engage in the fans who are fans of Star Wars because they like Star Wars itself, get into a war with the fans who watch it and want it to reaffirm their beliefs. And this goes on, and she's been in the center of this for a while. I've just seen this go on, and I'm just like, they're gonna get her fired. You know what I mean? Because there's people who want to get her fired, and there's people who fight them, and then it makes a big stink, and she trends all the time because half the people hate her and half the people love her. So, um, I felt that if they were gonna can her, though, they would have done it a long time ago. So today she said something equating something going on right now to Nazi Germany or something, and it pissed people off. But what I've read that was reported in Variety, it doesn't seem like either the people who canceled her for it or the people who hated her for it don't have reading comprehension or something, because she was explaining something that's true. That when make a long story short, if a government doesn't support its people, doesn't give its people jobs, give its people what they need to survive, okay? And you have a lot of poor people on the bottom. And then there are other people who come in, and those poor people are now competing with the poor people who are already here for the same jobs. What tends to happen is that the people who were here say in a very South Park fashion, they took our jobs, okay? And then that's how you get to Nazi Germany, because the government ignores its people that were here and says, okay, if you say anything about those other people, we're going to call you a racist. Meanwhile, the people who are here just want jobs that the government is not helping to create, and they're ignoring the plight of the people who were here. And then the people who were here come to see the people who have the jobs as their enemy. That's what happened in Nazi Germany. That's what's happened in the United States over the last 20 years. As undocumented workers came into this country and were able to find employment, where Americans who had lived and maybe been born here, had been born here, but had lived here and tried to find work, could not. And that pits two groups of people against each other. And that's how this comes up. That's how, if you want to call it nationalism or whatever, springs up. And I believe this is what she was saying. And if unless there was another thing she said that pissed them off, I believe this is what she's supposedly being fired for. But I read a quote on Twitter just now from somebody else who said, nah, they were looking to fire her since November, but they were just waiting for her to say something that they felt like they could fire her for. So, why this is huge? You have a strong woman that's supposed to be the wheelhouse of the people who want, on the left, who have their social justice stuff. A strong woman is supposed to have her rights, supposed to be able to do anything. But this one can't, because she's not going along with the narrative. And the narrative isn't just the narrative. And like I said, I'm going to go on and on about this. And I'm going to try to, I think I'm going to make little snippets, and I'll maybe do this over several parts because it's going to go on for a long time. But what this really is, what we're all going through, what I worry about, what I fear, and how this connects to Gina Carano. Gina Carano works for Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is part of Disney. Disney is pretty much almost in control of half of Hollywood. Hollywood is part of a machine. Hollywood supports one side of the political spectrum. That political spectrum has just seized power, and they are running with it. And what this in the end is, and it's going to seem like I'm making a huge leap, but I'm not. We're in a covert war with China. Everything that's happening right now is a covert war in China. That's why the left using Hollywood, who have felt like they desperately needed China and the Chinese market for years, did everything in their power to get rid of President Trump based on all these supposed social justice. He's a bigot, he's a racist, anybody who likes him is a racist and a bigot. It's really about the fact that he was going up against China. And if you think I just made a huge leap, I didn't. I'll be expecting my ticket to the gulag any second because that's why we can't speak out. China does not believe in freedom of speech. China had their people wearing masks. China believes in conformity. It's completely the opposite of what I thought American ideals were. Freedom, you know, absolute total freedom. The flag, American Eagles, everything we always thought of. It's completely counter to the way the Chinese government runs their people. And it's not Chinese people, it's the Chinese government. That's the problem. And that's what President Trump was going up against. And that's why he said that they weren't coming after him, they were coming after us, meaning Americans. I'll be back. Not like that idiot who's also working for China.